So we're going to talk through a few things here today. We're going to talk about our transition defense, our man-on, one-on-one defense a little bit, and then we'll talk a little bit about how to create scoring chances for our teammates. Okay, so we're going to start here with some transition. Let me get this pulled up here. Oops. All right. So we're going to start here with some transition defense here. Okay, so we're going to see as they're coming down the field here, as Johns Hopkins is coming down the field here, we're just going to see them how these midfielders run back into the middle of the field, and then how they take up the space and then go from there. Okay, so he's running down here. These midfielders are working back to the middle first. Okay, and then once they get back to the middle, then they start to find their guys out here. Okay, so go back just a little bit here. These midfielders here, boom, back to the middle, and then turn around and find their guy. These guys here in that normal triangle that we've talked about here, okay, here, and they're rotated this triangle over this way because the ball went to this side, okay? All right, they see how nice and tight they're staying through here. They're not extending way out here and opening up this middle of the space. Okay, ends up being a turnover. Pick the ball up and go the other way. Okay. All right, this one is a hedge to stop the fast break. Okay, so we're looking at this guy right here. All right, so similar concept here. We're going to have a triangle between our D poles here. This guy, in my opinion, stays out a little too high because this guy's not really a threat, right? We want this guy to work back to the middle and then turn around and find his guy. Okay, this guy did a good job working back to the middle before turning around and finding his guy here. Okay, so this guy has the ball right here. As he comes in, we've talked about this. This guy is the biggest threat because he has the ball. We don't want to just let him run through the middle, so we got to stop ball here. And then the next biggest threat is this guy right here, and then we'll see the next biggest threat after that is this guy down here. Okay. All right, as they come in. So this guy's the biggest threat. This guy's the second. This guy's the third. This guy's probably the fourth biggest threat. This guy over here just happens to be Johns Hopkins' best player, so that's why they're staying pretty tight on him over here. But I want to focus on this guy right here. Okay, this guy right here has the ball. Okay, he's gonna stop the ball here. So now this guy right here, his job is to step. He's doing what's called hedging. So he's filling the space between this guy who's a threat and this guy who's a threat. What we've seen our team do a few times here is we've seen as this guy comes in with the ball, we'll step here and they just throw it over the top of us to this guy, and now this guy has an easy walk in for a shot. Okay? He's hedging right here so that if the ball comes this way, he can slide in a couple steps and get to this guy. And if the ball comes over the top to this guy, he can slide in a couple steps and get to that guy. Okay, so remember this guy's the most dangerous guy here. So we're going to stop the ball here. Then this guy, so this guy will slide to this guy. All right, this is the hot defender. He'll slide up to this guy. If this guy gets it and moves it down to this guy, now this guy steps here, and this guy on the backside is going to have to be ready to rotate and fill the space that this backside attackman is going to try to fill. I know that's a lot of drawing here, but main focus here, make sure we get back to the middle here. We stop the middle guy here, and then we hedge here so that we don't overcommit up here or overcommit down here. Okay? All right. Now we're going to look a little bit at on-ball defense here. Ball's going to come down here to X, and I want to watch this guy right here. He's coming up the field here, stick in the hands, and then as the ball moves away, he just moves back into this space. Whoops. Let's go back and look at that one more time. Okay, ball to X. Boom. As he comes through here, this guy's going to get ready to move the ball away from him, so he's going to get a stick in the hands here, and then once he gets the stick in the hands and the ball moves away, he's coming back to the middle, and he's checking over his shoulder to see where his man is, okay? Sticking the hands, checking over his shoulder, just seeing where that guy is, okay? But he's filling that middle space so he can be a help slide if we need it, okay? All right, next clip. Okay, want to look quickly at their zone defense. Syracuse plays a man defense, but they're man down right now, so they're playing a zone. Big thing I want to just focus on here is the way that their heads are on a swivel, the way that their sticks are up, okay? And then we'll see here, let me play this let me go back here just a little bit. Okay, in this clip right here, you'll see this is what Reese keeps talking about when he talks about how to angle your body. So this guy's angled here. He can see the ball at X, and he can see this guy out here, okay? This guy's angled so he can see the ball at X, and he can see out here. He's eventually, once the ball starts to transition back this way, he'll flip his hips so he can see this guy, all right? And then we'll see the other guys here transition. Yep, there we are. So none of them, they're all looking at the ball this way, but none of them are faced with their hips this way so that guys can cut off the back of them, okay? So they're able to quickly transition. All right, sticks up. They're talking, sticks in the passing lanes. They're moving. They're staying tight in that zone, filling that middle space, okay? Filling that middle space, but making sure that they have the, they're talking and making sure they're able to step out and take away shots. All right, I want to talk a little bit about bouncing out. So we're going to look at, I think it's 16 here. All right, he's going to bounce out and catch this pass. Here. Okay, so our plays, or our team right now, what we do a lot is when this guy has the ball right here, we try to force this pass in here, and their defenders step in and take that play away, okay? So you're going to see here, 16, instead of staying right here, he's going to come all the way out here, catch a nice, easy pass out here, and now he can turn around and get settled, okay? Runs out, creates the space. Now he can turn around and get settled and get that next play going. Okay? All right, next thing I want to talk about is scoring opportunities. So this guy right here, he's one of Johns Hopkins' best players. I want us to start to understand we have scored both of our goals from this area right here, and it's great if we can get there, but it's very difficult to get there. Okay? So we've got to start working on stuff outside of just that area. All right? So for us, I see when we come to practice, and I'm guilty of this too, when I come to practice, we all want to stand right in this area, and we just want to rip shots off the bar and feel good about ourselves. But you'll see here, these are the type of shots that we're going to get more in a game, all right? So this guy's going to come in, he's going to beat his guy off the alley here, and he's going to come down, he'll curl, and he'll take his shot here, all right? So this is more the type of shots that we're going to be getting, all right? On the run, makes a move, opens space for his hands and takes a shot. All right. So we've got to get better at a couple things here. We've got to get better at this dodge here. So we've got to be able to hold on to the ball as we're cradling here. We've got to be able to move on the run, and then we've got to be able to create that space for our hands and get shots off quickly. All right. It's good that both of our goals have come from in here, but it's not going to happen going forward. All right. We've got to start to learn how to score other types of goals. Okay, and then finally here, we're going to talk about creating chances for our teammates, okay? So if we go in here, this guy's going to do a very similar dodge. He's going to beat his guy off the alley here, and as he does this, this defender's going with, and this defender's going with. When both of those defenders go down this way, that opens up all of this space right here, which 77's going to fill. He's going to catch a pass, and he's going to be able to step in and rip a shot, all right? So here, down the alley, defenders go with. Same exact move that the last guy made, except for now he's looking for a pass instead of a shot. All right, he passes it out to the high space, and that guy has all kinds of time to step in and take that shot. All right, so when we're coming in here and we're making this play, we got to understand, we got to start to find. 77, right now when I watch our offense, especially in practice, what happens a lot is if 77 was on our team, what we do is we come in here, and then we're not a threat because all their defenders are in here, right? So 77 does a good job of reading, okay, the space is going to be up here. So he comes and fills this space here. As this curl happens, pass back into this space, walks in and gets a good shot. All right, walks in, gets a good shot. So that's another shot that we need to be working on here is that step down into space or into the shot, but we need to be doing it from up here, not stepping down from on the crease because we're not going to get those shots. All right. So if you want to work on some shots, work on shooting on the run, work on beating your guy down the alley and getting a shot, work on that cutback shot, and then work on here catching the pass high, stepping in, taking that shot. All right. One last thing I want to talk about creating opportunities. It's something that I talk to the hockey guys a lot about. Sometimes you're going to be the one that has to make the dodge and has to take the hit and all that kind of stuff, and you're going to open up this space and you're going to create the space for your teammates. Sometimes it's going to be the teammates doing it for you, but you got to do the hard work to create that space for your teammates in order to get that opportunity in the future. All right, that's all I have. We'll see you at practice on Wednesday.